record.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
That's going. This is going.
Just gonna put that there.
That is recording. Everything's recording now.
All right.
It does get noisy in here, but these mics are directional. So when you're speaking, get right on it. It'll hear you just fine. If it gets noisy, don't let it distract you. These are pretty good at blocking it out.
Okay.
Ashley, have a seat. I'll adjust the camera.
Thank you.
Everything's running. Take as long as you need to, huh?
Okay, thank you. I won't take all your time, I promise.
It's all right, no problem.
Okay.
And you are live and ready to go.
Wonderful. Well, I am here with Sharon Day, and Sharon, with Smart Girl Politics, we are desperately trying to bring women into the conservative movement. What has your experience been as a conservative woman in politics?
Well, I think it's, when you look at what you do with politics and again follow your beliefs, I think it's a strong movement out there to get the women involved. And as we know, women make the bulk of the decisions in our households and our families and in our jobs. And my phone's going off.
Oh, it's okay.
So sorry.
No, it's okay.
So
It's a cute case, by the way.
Absolutely. But I think so when you do that, it's an outreach program, and I think we've learned I did the Florida Women for McCain. And we laughed because at the time we started off with 2 email addresses to build it with. And so I said, that's the good news that I got from the party. The bad news was one of the email addresses was my own.
Oh, no.
So by the time we ended up building it, we had 13,000 plus women that we communicated
wow.
women to women. And I think the key in building women and women organizations, which you guys have been super at, is that we communicate differently.
Yes.
We talk to each other differently. We share. We don't ask. We do those types of things. And I think to get our message into a format, into an outreach program that we actually know how to communicate with each other makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. So would you say that our style of communication is our biggest strength in the movement, or do you think just the way that we look at things? What do
I think
women
it's
offer?
the way we communicate is our biggest strength, and I really do think it is because we approach things with a completely different approach, I think, than men do. And as we build that strength, use that as a strength as we go forward in politics, whether it's a candidate, whether it's a political candidate, whether it's a board member, whatever it is, to try to encourage, as we go forward, try to encourage women to start it even in a statewide or a county board level to get that ability, that confidence out, and again to get that voice and that communication skills.
Well, we're striving to get women either on school boards, federal office, every level. For someone who might be considering running but questioning, will I have to sacrifice time with my family? What will the toll be? I mean, do you have any advice for women who might be kind of tossing the idea around?
Well, I think those are the good questions. Those are the questions you ask, is what is the commitment that it's going to take? Because what you don't want to do, and we have a tendency as women to multitask. I mean, that is our strength, but there's only so much time and so much energy. So I think when we do these things, to understand, again, the commitment with the family, with ourselves, with our lives, and once we go forward, make that commitment and follow through with that commitment. But I think your suggestion, and it's one that I suggest with women, is that, get on a board, and I work very hard to get them to go be precinct committee person at a local level if they want to get active in the political side. Work with your state, your parties or your organizations or your city council, your commissioners, people that are already involved in politics. They have quite a few appointments that they can put, different committees they could put you on. If you're not sure of the time constraints and the impact it would have, start there and actually reach out and make that difference from that point, and then you can follow it in a progression of ways that you would like to process and see how it fits.
Well, one of the issues right now that's really heavy with our group and women in general is school choice. The education platform is very important. Where do you see that fitting into the campaigns leading up to 2012? Do you see that being a heavy point, or is it more Obamacare, economy?
Right now, if I were going to say right now what it's going to be jobs. It's going to be the economy, because that's what's sitting heavy with the unemployment numbers being what they are. I think next week we're at our 2nd year anniversary to the stimulus package. So I think when you look at those things, what was accomplished, what wasn't accomplished, and you look at that, I think the economy and the jobs are the issues right now. Now, a year, the 2012, that's a lifetime.
It is.
In
It is
some processes
politically.
of what could happen politically, but I would say right now the process is on jobs and on the economy because it's having, again. You talk about the impact on women. It's having tremendous impact on women because we have to hold our families together and we
Right.
have to, run the household, make sure that everything happens. So I think that's the utmost for the presidential campaigns would be the concerns. I think on local levels, statewide levels, school choice is tremendously important to allow people to make the decisions of how their children are educated
Right.
and where their children are educated.
Right.
So I think that's a vital importance as well.
Well, before I let you go, the freshman class that we just swore in, there are some tremendous women in
Yeah.
there. I mean, do you have any rising stars, maybe a Christy Nome or anybody that we should look out for?
In our state, I would say one of our rising stars is our new lieutenant governor, who's Jennifer Carroll, who is Caribbean descent, Trinidad. She's our first woman that has been elected as lieutenant governor in the state of Florida, and she's the first black lieutenant governor we've had in the state of Florida. So she's a dynamic individual. So I'd say she's a rising star for us in Florida, and also Pam Bondi, who's the first woman district attorney we've elected in Florida. So last year we did some great things with women in getting women elected, and they're two to watch.
Good. Well, thank you so much for
welcome.
sitting
Thank
down
you.
with us.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
and thank
to
you,
meet
and keep
you.
doing your great work.
Oh, well, thank
Take
you.
care.
Enjoyed the conference.
Thank you, hun. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Steal my glasses. Steal my Diet Coke. I'm going to give somebody my Diet Coke.
And that was Sharon Day, the co-chairman of the Republican National Committee, sitting down with me, Ashley, the Texas Trendy Chick, on From the Right Radio. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So, yeah, I don't know what our plans are, but I'm live. So I'm just going to kind of wing it by myself.
You don't have anything to say?
I certainly do. There's always something to say. Well, the conference here at the Marriott Wardman Park in Washington, D.C. From the Right Radio is here on Bloggers Lounge, soon to be Radio Row, from 4 to 6 this evening. And today, the highlight thus far has been Mitt Romney. He had a standing room only crowd this morning about 10:30. And it's interesting about Mitt Romney because he did not make any reference to healthcare whatsoever. However, he did make a point of emphasizing believing in America, which is said to be his 2012 slogan. He did say, if I choose to run for president, or if I were to decide to run for president in 2012, and everybody got a good chuckle out of that because, well, he's Mitt Romney. We know he's going to run. It's just a matter of when. So that was certainly a highlight. There was also a little bit of head turning going on with a fantastic Sarah Palin impersonator. So if you just happened to catch her out of the corner of your eye, you would have sworn Sarah Palin showed up to CPAC2011. And it did come out that she was an impersonator, and a rather good one. The only thing is she was wearing a red coat with red gloves. And we all know that you just don't match reds that well, and Sarah is a little better dresser than that. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to the Paul Croteau, the loud talker. You've been listening to TTC on FTR.
I'm sorry, webcam people, it's me. Yes, your camera's probably just shattered at the polar opposite beauty here. Great job, great interview. Texas Trendy Chick, rocking the house here at FTR Radio. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a little bit.